from our architect. So we're having our drawing here from our architect. To learn the icons, we shall learn them as we are doing here. What I know, everyone here must have a what? AutoCAD installed on the PC. But those are the requirements of the study. Yeah, having AutoCAD installed on the PC, and I don't know if Bill shared with you some of the drawings that we shall be working with. Kindly update on that, because from the previous meeting we had, Bill was to draft drawings that we're going to be using. Martin, were you around? Were you present in the previous session? Okay. Let me go straight to the working of that drawing. How we work with the drawing. So you've received a DWG format of a file from the architect. You've opened it, and this is what is showing you in your AutoCAD. So it has too much of the details that are not necessary for our MEP design. So for this session, we're going to see how we, those unnecessary details. So as you see here, there are these measurements. Yes, they are necessary, but not for the MEP designs, because these can be got from the architect's side. The architecture drawings detail all this. So when the technicians are on ground, they can use the architectures to know those dimensions. So we don't need them. So you select them like that. You draw. I hope you all know how to use the mouse. I don't know, because it's you to tell me if you know how to use the mouse. So my assumption is that you know how to use it, how to select an item in AutoCAD. So you go to that item, you select it, you click. They have just clicked there. If you see, you click, then you highlight. From the previous session, I told you that if you highlight and that blue color comes around, it means that you have to select the whole object for it to be highlighted and to be selected. So if you to see here, you have selected all that digit. So, but if you highlight and you click like this, and you see that green, just the parts of the object that are selected have to be worked on. So you select. We're going to select the similar, because these are drawings. The previous sessions, as we said, that these drawings are usually in layers. So when you select here similar, everything that is a dimension, you will see it being selected in the drawing, as you see here. So you can delete that because it's not necessary. These are grids. These grids here, though I received this drawing when these grids are already exploded. There is this tool here called explode. When you explode a text here like this one, it will come out like this. So when you go into it, you find that its default was A. This was grid A. So when you replace it again like that, when you type in the A and you select OK, it will come again, if you can see here. So the grids are necessary for them to leave them in. So we remove the these sections. If you to see here, this is a section. It shows the part for which you can observe the section of the drawing. So you select similar, and you can see they are all highlighted. You delete them. These elevations are not necessary. You select similar and delete them. So Martin, as you see, as we are working on this drawing, we are learning many different tools. So you see, today we've worked with a select similar tool, whereby if you click an item, let me say this bed here, if I select it, I choose to select similar, whatever is, because now this is interior, you can see this is on layer, all the selected items are on layer, new interior furniture. So everything on that layer will be what? Selected. Yeah. So for today, I'm going to remove these grids, but they are necessary. We're going to just work with the floor plans only, without the grid for today. So I'm going to delete it. So here what I'm doing is cleaning the drawing. Man, I wanted that. Yeah, this one is. So we are cleaning here the drawing. What you have to make sure is that you don't lose details. So you can see here. You can see here that for this drawing here, around here, that you can't see that you can't see that the whole door. You see part of the wall being cut off. So meaning that there is some. If I'm to select similar here, you find out that there is this kind of an object that is obstructing that floor plan. So when you delete that, you would see that the whole door is being seen. So you can see also here, this part here is obstructing this. So you delete it, you see the details come out with. Are we all together? So this door here is not necessary. This text that shows the type of door, the architect sends you this described there, that this is door one, then you find the details of the door one, for which we don't really need. So we all delete that unnecessary information within our floor plan through the procedure action. So you can see if I select here this door 2 and I select similar, it doesn't highlight the rest of the text that I have that are on the same layer. This is because this drawing is not yet exploded. So if you select the whole drawing here and you explode it here, you see the importance of this explode tool. It breaks, it breaks a component. If I put here, it tells you that it breaks a compound object into its component objects. So this drawing here, you see here where I was selecting this, and when I select similar, it wasn't showing others. It wasn't selecting others. You see now it is selecting others. But if I go back, I undo that. Before, if I would select this and go to select similar, and the undo has not worked. So if I go back like that, now if I select similar, you see it doesn't select other text, other similar items that are of the same layer. Why? Because the object is still, all this floor plan is still as a full object, a compound object. So how do we deal with that? Is by use of the explode tool. Right? So if I do highlight all this, then I explode it. So these items, you find them being split. So if I do select now similar, you find out that every door label is being what? Selected. So you can delete it. By the way, in design, you have to be keen to details. As I told you, there are these, I would say, components that are not seen, but yet they obstruct some of the details within our drawing. So you have to delete them. So to do that, you have to just be keen to what you're doing. Pay attention to details. So if you delete that, you see our details coming out well. So we've deleted the doors, the door details. Now there is also this window label that we don't really need. So we select similar and delete them. Kindly don't forget to reach out to Bill to give you working DWGs for which you're going to practice from. Bill will be sharing with you all the DWGs like this one to work with, so that you do really practice. And the course we are taking here is not for just screenshots, taking screenshots, but it is really practice. So if you do not practice, not to say bad, but really you won't benefit from it. So we've cleaned most of the unnecessary detail here. The room labels, you leave them because you have to detail the rooms within the drawing. You leave all the furniture, you leave the rest of the architecture drawings, the items untouched.
Akram, can you hear me?
Yes. Yes, I can hear you.
Do you have two devices which are connected to the meeting there?
Pardon?
Do you have two devices connected to the meeting?
Yes, I have two devices connected.
I don't know whether the other one is off. I was hearing some echo and you were sounding a little bit low. I don't know whether it's only for me.
Oh, but it is off. It doesn't take audio.
Hey, you're muted the device, the other one.
Yes, I muted it.
Hey, okay, now I can hear you loud.
Right. Do you still hear the echo?
No.
You fine?
Hey, now you're loud enough. You are sounding low with echo. But
Bill, I was telling our colleagues here that you need to share with them some drawings, some architecture drawings, for them to practice with. I believe Ronald can give us some for them to really practice and gain from our course.
Sure, actually, Martin was asking, but I told him we are going to share with them after this class.
Yes, we really need to share with them, because in the next session, I would want to see them sharing their screens and really practicing as maybe give them what?
Guidance.
Help in that.
Yes.
In that way, I believe they benefit more.
True.
Yes, excuse me.
Yes.
Yeah, good afternoon to everybody.
Yes, good afternoon.
Yes, the cleaning which we have been going through is a DWD drawing.
Yes.
Supposing you are given a PDF drawing, how do you?
Yes, we're going to work on everything today.
Okay.
Today we are learning purely cleaning. So I've started with a case of you being given a DWG from the architect. So you see, a DWG, mind you, a DWG makes life more simple, and it is highly recommended to ask for DWG from the architect. You see here, the clean drawing is already here. What we're remaining with is to make it come to one layer, because if I'm to select this wall and I'm to select the bed, you see here on the layer properties, you see it disappears. It doesn't show that they're on the similar layer. So since for us in our MEP design, we're going to work with only electrical layers, this layer here for the floor plan given to you by the architect, it is highly recommended that you put it to one layer, so that we minimize the number of layers. You see, the architecture drawing comes with too much too much details of layers, specifying each item for which is not really necessary for our MEP design. So what we really do is after cleaning, we explode. Okay, you make sure you explode so that each of the item is really, if you I'm to select this corner, this part of the chair here, if I'm to select it, it is selected alone. You really explode multiple times to achieve that. Why do we do that? Because you define that this bed is really a whole item. It is a whole. So if you explode the first time, assuming we hadn't exploded, and we are exploding the first time, you highlight, explode. You would find that the bed is just made separate from the room. You're getting my idea, because my what I'm saying, I hope you understand, is that if you select and you explode the first time, you just find out that the bed is just made separate from the room, because the floor plan is given to you as a full what item. It depends on what the architect has, how he has designed and how he has used his tools. Some architects give you this DWG where each item is really separate from the other. There are some that give you the DWG when the items are really one compound item. So you make sure you do what? You split all the items. So why do we need to explode to up to that level of making sure that the bed, if I'm to select just that portion of the bed, you can see it is really a single item. We do explode to that point in that if you leave, let me show you something. If I'm to single out this bed, let me show you something. Actually, we did this in the previous session. It is just a recap. If I'm to just select this and I put it, if I'm to select this, let me make it a single item. How do we make it a single item? I can copy it. You can come here to clipboard. I can copy it. I can copy it. Then I paste it. Come here, paste as a block here. So you can see here, if I'm to select that item, that bed, it is really one item. And if I'm to select this, it is an individual object of the bed. So here it is really what? A full item. Now if I'm to put this to a single layer, let me say layer 0. If I'm to put it to layer 0, and I want to delete the rest of the layers from the what? From the working space. That the layer under this, if I'm to go into this block, let me go into it. To go into that block to really see the items that make up that block, if I'm to select this and go inside that block, have you seen how we've gone into that block? Let me close again, I show you. I've double clicked here. It brings this, the description. So you go to OK. So it brings you to the what? To the block itself. So you would see here within the block items. If I'm to select this item, you would and come to home, you'd find that layer inside that what? Inside that block. Yet we put this block to layer 0. So that's the reason. That's the only reason why we have to explode to the minimum. We explode multiple times so that we get that individual item. So if I'm to get this individual item and I change this to layer 0, if I change this to layer 0 now and I select a single item, you'll find that it is all back to what? To layer 0. That's the reason why I'm exploding this drawing multiple times before changing the layer. So after exploding, coming back to our floor plan, after exploding it to multiple times, I hope you are all together. Then I put it to layer 0. Why? This layer 0 is a default layer in any AutoCAD. Okay. it is always there. So I want to put my floor plan to layer 0. I delete all the rest of the layers. So after selecting that layer 0, I want to make sure that all the colors within this floor plans at one color. So I'm going to select, preferably it's good to have black after on the printouts. For the floor plans, it's preferably good that we do have that color of the floor plan either black or gray. So if I'm to select black, here I would select really white, because if you print white on a white sheet, it will come out as a black as a black layout. So I select white and I select the line property here, the line weight as 0. So you would see that each item comes out sharp and very clear, very clear. I hope you're seeing this. You're seeing the quality of the drawing. So when you print this to your paper, you would see that you will have a more clear, clean, and sharp floor plan as you see it here. So this is for the case you're given a DWG. Now let us see for the case you're given a PDF. So let me create here a new worksheet, a workspace. Pardon? Any question? Okay. So for the case you're given a PDF, you open your workspace as if you're starting a really new drawing without anything. So you open that worksheet as you see it here. You do come to the insert tool here. Yes, there is that option of importing a PDF. Have you seen that option? So you press it, import the PDF. So this will bring you to the, I hope you're seeing this. I don't know. Martin, are you seeing this? Okay. So you come. Let me look for the DWG. Let's see here if there is a PDF. Oh. Okay, let me assume this PDF. It's what you have. So you select that PDF. You open. So that PDF. Oh, this is already a MEP drawing. Let me get one with purely architecture drawings. Kindly wait for me in a minute. I fetch one here.
Last time I came here, at public holiday.
Okay, so we are importing the PDF. I come select. I hope you all know how to browse around to search for that PDF. You come, I've set that download. So we have in this PDF here from our architect. So you select that PDF, you open it. So you find out that this PDF really has different pages. I hope you're seeing them here. They are all different pages here. So before you importing your PDF, it is really responsible. It is a must that you first look at that PDF before importing it. You know where your floor plans are. You know where the sections are, or the elevations. So we really need the floor plans. It's what we are going to deal with. So I would select, let me say page 1. It's where I'm seeing the floor plans. So we import, we press OK. So it is really important, the PDF. So the disadvantage of using the PDF is that in most cases this DWG is going to come with everything on really on a single layer, everything. Most of the things are really on a single layer. So if you're just lucky, sometimes you can put and it shows you that if I'm to select, let me say the grid, it will show you PDF structure grid. Are you seeing it? It will try to align those. It will try to align those. It will try to align those what? Those are some of the layers in this way. So it is really difficult to clean such a drawing, but let us see how you could work with that. So I'm going to clean this floor here. So really I don't need these others. Let me delete them. So I select, I delete everything. So let us see how to clean this. So we don't need these sections really. So I have to select. You first try to see if I do select similar, what is it going to highlight? You can see it is highlighting most of the important details of the what? The DWG that we would, the important items of the floor plan, like the room names that we really need in our DWG. So meaning that you're going to clean each item by item, which is really time consuming and it takes a lot of time, and you have to be patient, and also you pay attention to every detail, because now you try to select what you really want to delete. You try, if I select that, what is highlighted, before you delete, you see still here all these names are what? All these names are highlighted, meaning they are going to be deleted. But you try to see, are they the names only? You see even the grid naming is also being what? Highlighted, meaning it's going to be deleted, and you really don't want it to be deleted. So one way how I would personally clean this drawing, I would weigh what am I deleting compared to what I want to stay on that similar layer. Let me say if I select that, I would really see through this drawing and see what I want to delete and what I want to leave. So I see that what I want to delete is really much than what I want to leave. So what I would do, I would select what I want to leave, like these room namings here. Select them individually. Yes. Any question? Oh, Martin? Yes, Martin. Any question? I see you unmuted.
No.
Okay. Okay. So kindly mute and continue. So I really select these small items that I don't want to delete. As you see here, I'm selecting them. As I've told you, cleaning with a PDF is really time consuming. It takes a lot of time. So you would select it in that way. For my case, I might not complete them, but you really do it process by process. Here, there are no shortcuts on a PDF. You have to take time, a lot of time. So it is really recommended to ask for a DWG from the architect than a PDF. But for the case if the DWG is not present, you have to work with a PDF because the architect is your boss. You really have to understand that. So you see I've selected my words, so I can come and isolate. So we are learning today what is the isolate tool for. This isolate tool for, it can hide objects, or isolate objects. In other words, it's the same. So I'm trying to hide these objects. So what happens if I hide them? If I do hide them like that, you see, they disappear away from the drawing. So again, remember also these grid namings are one of the things I don't want really to delete. So you select them, whatever you don't want to delete, you select everything. Let me say that those ones are the ones that I don't want to delete. I come here and hide them. So after hiding, again I select these ones that I do want to delete. Select similar. So you would see if again I select similar, it really highlights everything, the rest of the things I want to delete. Yeah, you can see. Don't forget to hide these grids. For my case, I'm not going to hide them, but hide them before deleting the rest. You can see here. The rest is not really necessary for in our drawing. So I can delete that. I see. Yeah. For this one, we are lucky that it has tried to put some of the items on the similar layer. But if it is on a different layer, you're going to delete each item one by one, like selecting this that you don't want to delete. Select, you delete. Select, you delete. You getting my point? Which is really tiresome. You can see here. It brings all these really exploded. When you import a PDF, the drawing comes when it is already exploded and it is almost on the similar layer. So it becomes very time consuming to clean this drawing. But you have nothing to do. You take that time and you clean the drawing. So you do select this. You try to see if I select similar for this, what am I highlighting? So this is not really needed because we're going to show here our lighting fixtures. So really we need to delete off this hatch. This hatch is just showing the flow type. The flow type. So I can select that and delete it. You make sure if you select similar, you see. Let me show you again. Because there are some PDFs, you're going to select this here, and when you select the similar here, it might also highlight maybe the toilet, which you don't want to delete because you're going to show a pipe here, the drainage from the toilet. So you don't really want to delete that. In case that happens, meaning you're going to select this like that. Personally, like that, you try to maybe highlight that part there. You try to highlight some, you delete one by one like that, which is really time consuming. So I try so much to talk to the architects so that they give you the DWGs. As you see, for the DWG, you really take less time, not even more than 5 seconds to clean such a drawing. So we've cleaned off that. I see we still have this section part here. Let me try to select similar of it and see. Yeah, if I select we are lucky for this one. We can delete it. We delete all those sections, elevation things. So we have our floor plan like that. Now what is remaining is to change, because it is really good to put these grids on the different layers and separate from the floor plan itself. So try to select similar and see here the grid is on a different layer. You can see it is on a different layer of the structure. So what else are we doing? So remember, we have our items that we isolated before, so that they are not deleted. So if you come back to isolate, you right click to get this tool, this book. So you right click, come to isolate, and object isolation. When I end, these words are coming back. Are you seeing? They are back. They are already back. So I want now to clean the floor plan to align it back to the the layer as I told you to put it to layer 0. So what do? Still, it's only the floor plan that I do want to change to that layer. So I come back, select similar for the grids because I don't really want to delete them. They are required. Why are the grids important? If you have a more than one story building, these grids can really show you, let me say you are draining the pipe from up to down, they can show you that, oh, they guide you that this pipe is passing here, this pipe is passing here. If you really find these floor plans not typical, let me say first floor plan is really different from the second floor plan. So these ones give you guidance when you are detailing your map details onto this architectural plan. So we're going to first isolate it. We're going to hide it. That. So I'm going to stay with my floor plan like that. I sing it. So I'm going to select this floor plan here. Try to explode it. Even if on the PDF they come exploded, but you try to explode it again. Come, put it to layer 0. After putting it to layer 0, you select still the color as I told you. You select also the line weight as what? 0, 0. So we have our floor plan, which is clean. I'm seeing it. This is our clean floor plan. Yes, so let us bring our grids back. So we end the isolation. Oh, these words also, if you select similar, those words also have to be to grid 0. Sorry, do you know why they were hidden last time? Because I had selected the grids to isolate them, but yet they were on the same layer. So let us first select these grids here. This here. We put them to the grid, which is this one. Put them to the grid layer, so they are separate from these. So if I select now here similar, you see that the words are selected alone. They also, since they are part of the floor plans, they have to be grid to layer 0. Then color white 0. So now for the grids, here I'm going to, as I'm working, I give it a different color, which is really close to black, but just for the purposes of it being different, because if, let me say, you're putting a socket here to show that there is a socket, you can misinterpret this as a wall. But if it is on a different color, you know that it is a grid. You will easily know that it is a grid. You will identify it as a grid. So it's really recommended for it to be on a separate layer from the floor plan, and also with a different color from the floor plan. So I will select similar. It's already on layer, which is grid. Then color, I can select. I can give it this gray, because if I print this on the paper, it will really come out also very close to black. Really, it's this one which is close to black. If it come here, it is 251 or 252. They are really close to black if you print it on paper. So we are having that. But for the purposes of implementing our map design, you've made now the grid separate, so you can't be confused here. You putting here a socket, you really see that this is really a grid line, not a wall. Are we all together? Yeah. So we have achieved our clean drawing, but now we have to delete all these other unnecessary layers that are still within our view, because we don't want to, if you to copy this and you put it maybe a reference DWG that you want to copy from your symbols, it will come with all these layers, even if you've cleaned them off. So what you do is this purge tool. You can type it here. You type here, I'm typing, you can't see here. Let me repeat it. See? So even if your cursor is this side, you just type per page. So it comes, you select it, it comes here, you come to purge all. You want to purge all, you purge this item. Really, you want to delete every layer that doesn't have any item within this drawing. So you purge this item. You can purge, you check all items. So after the purge, you close. So when you come to this, you see that we are remaining with only the 2 layers really what we have used here. We have used layer 0 and layer grid. You can rename this to layer grid. Come here to layer properties here. It comes here, so you can rename it here. You right click on it here, you come rename layer. So you can name it as grid. So we close. So we have our 2 layers here. So this is our plain drawing. However, the difference from the DWG and the PDF, if given to you, if I'm to measure here, this distance here, in most cases, this DWG is not to real life measurements. It's really off. So let me show you. If I use my calc tool here, I hope you're all learning the tools I'm using. This one, we also looked at it in the previous section, where we looked at different tools. Also here, we're going to learn the use of tools as we practice it. So Martin, the way we're going to pass through the tools is through practicing. We shall see how to use all these tools. So if I go to calculator here, so I really, when I'm measuring something that I'm not going to show its dimension within my drawing, I really use the calculator because it is going to give me the figures here. But another way of measuring, there is this annotation tool here, which has the dimension. Is also this one linear. You can see from here different tools. What are you measuring? Based on what you're measuring, is it linear? Is it angular? Is it an arc, radius, diameter? Everything is here. So you can also use this to measure. But for this, it is going to leave. It's going to leave. You see, it's going to leave the dimension, which is this, for which you can even scale. It's going to leave this, which I really don't want in my drawing. So I'm going to use this from the calculator. You see this one here, it is similar to this, just that the difference is this one gives me the measurement here. So if I measure from here to here, you see I've got that. But really, this is remember we are working in millimeters, so 0.07 millimeters. This is not really the real dimension of the wall. The wall is usually 150 millimeters, 200 millimeters. When you go to retaining wall, you can even find 250 millimeters. So we really want to work with a drawing that is a replica, a real representation of the real drawing on what? On ground, on site. So I'll measure that. Let me assume that. Remember from the PDF, the architect gave you the dimension of this wall. Maybe we've measured this. He gave you the real dimensions here, that it is 200 millimeters. So I'm going to really scale this back to that, so that it gives me that measure. So I'm going to first measure the original, as you see. I'm going to measure original here, which is that. but I want to scale it to 200, meaning that the scaling factor is a big one. So I will have the 200 divided by that. So meaning I have to rescale this by this rescaling factor here. So I can copy this. You see? So I come highlight this. There is this tool here. It's called the scale. Huh? Martin, have you seen it? It is under modify. Under modify today we've seen this scale factor. We've seen the explode factor. So let us see how the scale factor works. We first highlighted this, tap it. You can specify the base point. For this case, we don't need to. You can specify any because it's the only existing drawing. I can specify there. So here it tells you specify scale factor or copy or reference. So here I'm going to specify the scaling factor because I had calculated it here and it's already in my RAM because I copied it. So I can just paste it here and paste it there. So this is my scale factor. After pasting, I press enter. So if I pan, my drawing is here. So if I'm to measure this wall again, to measure. By the way, what I'm doing here, we looked at this last time. These are green things, those small things you're seeing. It is called object what? The snap, object snap, snap cursor. It enables you to see perpendicular. In other words, you're spanning within the object. So it can enable you to see the endpoints, midpoints, center, geometric centers, all these. So if I come here, remember I'm measuring. If I come here, I go to this end. This shows end point. You see, end point. If I select that end point, but I want the perpendicular to that because I'm measuring really perpendicular distance from here to here. So you see, perpendicular shows you. So you select. You see, we are getting 199.8, which is really close to what? 200. So we can work with this drawing. So this is our clean drawing where we're going to put our map details. Have you seen it? Yeah. So the difference between using a PDF and this other one of the DWG, you see we've not wasted time here. And if I'm to measure this, in most cases it is to scale. It is to scale. Let me measure this. Let me say from this point, this is a wall from here to here. You see, it is already to scale, which is the difference with the one you've imported. So for today, we've seen how to clean a drawing. So the next session, I would prefer everyone to show me their cleaned drawings based on what Bill is going to share. It is really good to practice. So today, the other thing we're going to learn about, let us learn more of the important tools here within the modify. And we call it a day. The next day, last time.
Excuse me.
Yes.
I'm sorry for taking you back.
Pardon?
I'm sorry for taking you back. Do you mind repeating this process of scaling?
If we do what?
Do you mind repeating that process of scaling? Scaling.
I don't get you well.
What you have just done.
Yes.
I'm requesting if you can take us maybe through again. Some points where I've missed.
The process of cleaning.
Cleaning, not really cleaning, scaling.
Yeah. Scaling. Okay, let me do it again. So assume this drawing here, let me first scale it to something not real. Let me just scale it without anything, just scaling it for. So I'm having my drawing like this. It's not to real scale, but you know, as an engineer, you have to know some of fundamental knowledge, I would say. So you really know the typical thickness of a wall. It's really what I usually use to scale back this to the original scale. But if you don't know, you can go to the PDF shared by the by the architect. All those dimensions are there. So you can measure this that you have, which is known to scale. Let me say this wall here. Let me get an external wall here. You can measure this wall like that. So you see, it is showing you 1,821 millimeters thickness of a wall. This is real. This is not real. On ground, it's not real. It's not. You've never seen a wall of this thickness. Maybe I would say in dams, but I've never seen such a thick wall. So you've got this dimension here, but you know your original, the wall thickness is 200. So ever to get the scaling factor is, let me first remove this. Let me first cut it by Control X because I need it. I don't want to repeat again. To get the scaling factor, you first write the dimension that you want. So you want the wall to come back to 200 millimeters thick. You divide by what you have. So when I enter, I'm getting a scaling factor of 0.1097. For the other PDF, we got a scaling factor of about 2,000 because the drawing was really very small, microscopic compared to what? To the real object. Are we together? So we've got our scaling factor as 0. Okay, the way it is. So you highlight it, you copy it. So you come to the drawing that we really want to scale. So you highlight that drawing. You come to the scale what? Tool here that we have. Click on it, specify a base point. Since here we are just scaling this, there is no any other objects that it is going to come into. Let me assume if we had another object here, we would specify a base point so that after scaling this, it doesn't go into the other drawing. So you specify the base like that, just clicking somewhere. So you come to this command tool here that you do have. It is already showing you that specify scale factor. So we already have our scale factor in our RAM since we copied it. So when you paste it here and you press enter, you see it has made it smaller because we really wanted to make it smaller. So if you to measure here again, an external wall here, the same wall here, if you to measure it like that, you'll see that we are close to what? The 200 that we wanted. So that's how the scaling works, using a scaling factor. So we don't just scale anyhow, we really have a purpose of scaling. So that's one way how you would apply scaling if you're given a drawing which is not up to scale, because some of you people, I don't know, some who have tried to encounter AutoCAD, you already have symbols you are working with. Some of you have downloaded symbols from the internet. In most cases, those symbols are the ones, especially the ones you download from the internet, are to scale. They try to replicate the real dimension of let me say the dimension of a ceiling recessed spotlight, let me say. Yeah. So you have that symbol. It's really a replica of in its dimensions. It is, let me say, the radius of that spotlight you have in your symbol is really the same dimension, the exact dimension of a what? Of a spotlight. Let me come to drainage. Let me say, you're going to put, you see this duct here? You really want to know the pipes that I'm going to put, the 110 millimeter diameter pipe, does it really fit here? How many fit here? Remember, you are planning. You have to place them exactly, and you're really sure that they do fit here. So that's the importance of working with a to scale drawing, because you're going to give this technician the what? The drawing, and really you put here, let me say 5 what? 5 pipes. But in reality, they don't fit. But if you work with symbols that are up to scale in real life, let me copy some. I show you here. Let me open some worked on drawing so that I show you what I mean. This is the same project we are practicing with it. So if I am to go to a duct here, you see here the duct here. This pipe, this is a down pipe. This is a symbol showing that the pipe is going down here. If I'm to measure this pipe, if I'm to measure its diameter here, internal diameter, let me say the internal diameter here. You see this diameter, it is close to 100, which is really the internal diameter of the what? The pipe. If I'm to measure the external diameter, it is close to 110, as I said. You see, it is close to 110. So really, if I'm to even consider this remaining space here, this pipe is really close to real world, meaning that for this case of the duct, these pipes can really fit even when it comes to what? Being put on field. So that's the importance of scaling and working with real what? With up to scale drawings. Are we together? I hope today's session has been really productive. In the previous session, we shall do a recap. It's okay, but we learned how to work with us uniform lighting. I don't know if you were all around. In the previous section, we learned how to work with uniform lighting, and I gave you a task of going online, read different books or online. AI has come, it can give you some little guidance, but it's not good to really rely on AI alone. Yeah, it makes work simple, but it is not, you can rely on it like about 80%. You leave the 20% to the textbooks. Yeah, so I gave you a task of doing a research on different lighting fixtures. So I would kindly request you, if possible, you give me some of the research that you did. I told you, a design engineer, you have to really sink deep into research, because you're going to work with research all over, not only these installations, because this is really installation. You're going to get feasibility studies, you're going to get different projects, which don't even need you to use AutoCAD. So you really have to do what? To drill into research. So we learned about lighting. If you didn't do that research, please go back, so that in the next session, because in the next session, we're going to learn lighting. We've seen how we clean a drawing. So we want to see how we're going to come up with a lighting. Anyway, this is mechanical. We shall see all this. We're going to learn all this. So in the next session, we're going to learn again lighting. Please reach out to Bill so that he gives you this DWG or PDF. Please practice how we've cleaned these drawings so that in the next session, we're going to do a recap on lighting, and I really want you to practice on that clean drawing that you've done. Are we all together? So that we all benefit. So in the next session, we're going to really work with that lighting, and Bill is responsible to share with us. Bill, I don't know if you are hearing us, but Bill is going to be responsible in sharing the DWG, and also we will share the symbols that we're going to be working with. Yes, for the next session. So in the next session, it will really be practical. It's going to be really practical, and I will want to see you all share your screens. I see what you do, because I'm sorry to do that. We are not in a nursery session. It's really free. It's but for purposes of benefiting from this, it is good. It is really good to see you practice, and to see where we've reached, and to see our strengths and weaknesses, so that we address the weaknesses. So that's it for today. Any questions? Any more questions? Yes. So I'm going to take that as a success of this session, the cleaning. So this is literally the starting of the starting process of MEP design, any MEP design. So we've cleaned. Next, we are going to learn lighting, and I beg you that you come with that research that I've requested you. Can do a 30 minutes research before our session begins, so that you have that knowledge. And Bill is going to share with you the AutoCAD that you're going to be practicing with throughout the week, so that when you come to the next week, we really you really identify your weaknesses, and you can tell me, so that we can really address it before we move forward, instead of piling. Yeah. So my name is Akram. Once again, my name is Akram from Jaribu. What's out? Yeah. Have a nice day.
Hey guys, good day. Shall share the recordings on our YouTube.